Now, Kadaria, I'm assuming that's based on the Kadarian Amulet, one of the most perfectly balanced items in beta, which unfortunately got removed from the game prior to main release. Although many of the Terran players watching right now may wholeheartedly disagree with how balanced that item was.
Maybe.
Maybe. Beating your
this is
girlfriend.
really good fun.
This is going to be fun. The first half of the domestic violence, the female half of it, in the top right-hand side of ESV's Kadaria, in that beautiful blood domestic violence beating red, we have Enever. And she's sending out an interesting position for her first pylon. Perhaps going to be going for a expand. Meanwhile, back in his main base,
is he going to forge fast expand?
It's possible. On a 4-player map, it is potentially viable, provided your opponent does a delayed scout.
I mean, last week we saw Blue Shoes do a Nexus first. So anything is possible, I guess. In a PvP, that was.
That it is. Throwing down his gateway, he still has not scouted. We do see Hyrlis. And a forge.
It's a forge fast expand. Yes.
Are you sure it's a fast expand?
I am so excited.
Or is it going to be a cannon rush?
But why put the forge at your natural if it's going to be a cannon rush? You might as well just put it in your base.
Indeed. Now, Enever actually is going to be chasing this probe all the way home, which is an interesting choice. But we do see that Hyrlis is going to be going for his gas timing, pretty standard, getting his gateway, soon going to be throwing down his cybernetics core. There it goes. And the first cannon is underway.
Yep. Yeah, so it is a forge fast expand, it looks like. I guess I just realised I was trying to guess the game strategy of a bronze level player, which is probably a little dangerous. You never really know. But I'm glad I picked it right, which is a good sign. There's the Nexus down. So we have a Nexus at 333 in a PvP.
That is oftentimes known as suicide, but they are actually bronze and silver respectively, so this could work out quite well. Unless, of course, Hyrlis just 4-gates and decides to go ahead and win the game.
I reckon he's going to expand.
We do see him saving up quite a bit of money. How rude of me, I didn't even introduce him. In the bottom left-hand side, in blue, Hyrlis. There you go. Throwing down a pylon in a 34 position at the natural. We're going to be seeing an expansion here quite soon. Now, a typical response.
And the probe is trying to kill this supply depot. I don't know why, but it's deciding it wants to kill this supply depot.
Well,
it's not going to be a supply block in Never, considering she's Protoss, and it's not hers.
Indeed, it is neutral, it is lowered. I wonder, will it actually qualify as a kill if you kill something neutral? I'm going to keep this probe selected and just see exactly how that goes. We see that Hyrlis has thrown 3 chrono boosts into his warp gate thus far, and this probe decides life's not worth living anymore over at the natural of Enever and throws itself at a cannon.
But fine, now we never know. That's it ourselves. Sigh.
That's disappointing. But the comical thing would have simply been that had he continued attacking the depot, it would have burnt down first. And therefore we would have been denied that knowledge anyway. You see the Zealot from Enever moving forward to take the watchtower, just going past the lesser spotted derpy shark in the middle of the map. In addition to not really an awful lot of tech. The Cybercore's just finished and Warpgate is being chrono boosted out, but we see Warpgate is now finished for Hyrlis.
Oh, it'll be interesting to see what Hyrlis decided to do against the Forge Fast Expand.
Well,
I mean,
he's
obviously
responded
expanded,
quite well.
but
He's actually kept up with the probe count very, very well, despite getting this Nexus a full minute later. Partially due to
gotta be
supply
careful about
blockage,
that.
but also he has got a very heavy tech advantage.
Well, definitely, that's the most advantage he'll have. The probe advantage is probably just because Enever's probe production isn't as good. Actually they're equal on workers, so... But yeah, Enever must have cut some probes at some point too much.
Indeed.
But both have really just invested in econ and tech so far.
Indeed. Enever gets a nice scout off there, sees the expansion, sees the unit composition of her opponent. Doesn't know if he's gone for Robotech as of yet though. So checking Enever's vision, she has absolutely no idea what's happening in the main, but her robotics facility is just about to finish. I dare say she should be starting an observer quite soon. Meanwhile we see Hyrlis' observer is walking or flying right into the main and is going to see absolutely everything.
Yeah, at least he didn't run over the captain that he knew, the cannon he knew about in the natural, because that would have been a bit silly. So that's good to see that he actually thought about that.
Enever has seen this observer in the main, warping in 2 stalkers and is going to take it out.
Nice.
Very nice little snipe
always try
there.
to make sure. Definitely. So really,
who's going to get the kill in this supply depot?
Late game.
Hyrlis really does not like these supply depots. And checking, one of these stalkers has a kill now. Though that could perhaps be the Zealot.
Probe, though?
I believe that may have been the Zealot that got sent up to scout. Meanwhile, there you go, boys and girls, we have proof that if you kill a neutral supply depot or a neutral anything, it does not count. Warp Prism. Hyrlis, Warp Prism. 2 Immortals. Next to Warp Prism. Oh, this is going to be good.
Has he learned from the last game? He was like, that was pretty awesome, I'm going to do that myself. I actually like when people do that in best 3 or a tournament. Is they see a build in a mirror match and like, you know, that part of that build is really strong. I'm gonna steal that.
He's doing it, and
it's
based on where he's flying this Warp Prism, he's actually going to be able to snipe this Twilight Council if he decides to drop into the back of the main. Now,
he definitely should go to the main because he knows that there's a cannon at the natural, so he doesn't want to get killed.
And he's getting Warp Prism speed.
Oh, and maybe he was listening to us last game.
Quite possibly, quite possibly.
But he's also getting his 3rd.
Indeed, I do like that. Just compounding his tech advantage and getting... I'm not so sure I like that forge placement, getting the 2 forges at the 3rd base, however. Because they're going to be very vulnerable to any kind of harassment.
Yeah, there should be gateways there and the forges back at home.
Anyway, here comes the Immortal drop.
It's very risky.
And a very quick response from Enever. And actually, this drop is going to get taken out.
Oh, lovely. Good drop back
nice
on the
dropping.
portal. But he gets the Warp Prism out.
Very nice play from
Wow,
Hyrlis.
he got... That was actually good by both of them.
That was
good reaction.
Excellent response from Enever, but very nice response by Hyrlis to actually drop those Immortals and save the Warp Prism.
Yeah, I really like both those plays there. That was really cool.
Now we do.
Well, I've got some downtime right now. I'm just going to do a quick shout out to Mr. Timmy Cooper, who is listening to the stream, who is in Europe and used to work for us, but he wants me to let you guys know that he's actually going to be involved in an internal tournament of StarCraft 2 in Unity because he works for Unity.
Oh, very nice. And oh, a double expansion from Enever right now.
This is some ballsy play from our female Protoss.
Well spoken there, sir. Well spoken. We do see that Enever has actually managed to get an upgrade advantage as well. It's not going to last for very long, however, because 30 seconds away from +1/+1 for Hyrlis. But should Enever decide to invest in further upgrades like now, she should be able to actually maintain a bit of an advantage, and we see their +2 armor has begun. But no second forge as yet. Yes, it is. And this Warp Prism has seen this base.
But did Enever see it when it came over? Oh, yep, she's got her troops coming back already.
She's seen it.
She's got good map awareness. I like that a lot, actually. And so it's really hard to teach people too, is the map awareness. Watching the map, seeing the little dots, and I guess this might also be because she's so used to playing Hyrlis that maybe this is a common style he likes to do. So she's just got her eyes waiting for it to come.
I do like Enever's...
now they're attacking.
I do like Enever's abundance of observers right now. However, I feel they're too defensively placed. And this Colossus is actually going to be in a lot of trouble if it decides to continue there. No, perfectly fine. Charge was not finished quite yet. But we see all of the shields have been taken out, and again, this Warp Prism has taken position up by the regular third base of Enever.
Dark Shrine down now for Enever as well. She's got her second forge going too, so it's good. She's getting her Colossi out of one Robo so far. Probably should go to a second. Hyrlis does have 2 Robos down, adding more gateways now.
And the Warp Prism finally gets taken out. Very nice blink there from Enever to take it out. Meanwhile, we see Hyrlis is getting his 4th in a slightly... that Warp Prism is full of babies, apparently.
So Hyrlis has gone High Templars this time. Yeah, I think we're going to see a big battle come up eventually here. Both are on 4 bases now. Well, 4 next eye. They're not really on 4 bases. Yeah, because Enever hasn't really put workers on a 3rd or a 4th, and Hyrlis and Nex is on his 4th is only just coming up. But still, they're both positioning well. You're going to have similar upgrade levels as long as they both keep focusing on them. Because 2-2 for Hyrlis at the moment, and 2-1-1 for Enever. So,
indeed. Enever's got quite a nice
hopefully they both keep on top of that.
From upgrades. We do see the extra attack is going to be telling, but shield upgrades, when it moves into the late game with Archons, is actually going to be quite telling. These 2 Zealots moving out to harass this base, perhaps get a couple of probe kills, maybe even take off these shields and do a little bit of damage to the Nexus as well. We see Charge just finishing now, and there we go.
Yeah, that'd definitely be annoying. Now this is something I don't like Protoss doing. There's 2 Zealots, so let's grab a whole army and kill them. It's a big overreaction, and a good opponent will do this to you if you play like this and just kill your other base. So they're a bit like... Imagine right now Hyrlis had taken his whole army and attacked the 3rd instead of the 4th.
Indeed.
It would die, and he'd probably get away with his full army from that engagement while your whole army has gone to kill 2 Zealots.
But we see Hyrlis is actually moving forward to do this now. Guardian Shield goes up. And based on the unit composition right here, I feel, even though Hyrlis has the Colossus advantage, with the sheer number of Stalkers that Enever has, she could be able to swing the tide of battle.
It's going to be so close. They've both got a lot of troops here. +3 attack is about to finish for Hyrlis, but +2 for Enever at the same time, so it's not going to make any difference to their current state.
That's +2 and
shield though, almost finished for Enever. Oh, Colossi on its own. It's going to go down.
But again, a very, very nice concave from Enever.
Yeah, but...
And the Colossus are at the front.
Oh no, that's a big misstep.
And a huge
that blink forward, and all those Colossi will go down. And oh my god, I think Enever might just take this game right here. All the Colossi are dead.
We have
Another
a
big
GG
for
from
GG,
Hyrlis,
yep.
and there we go. So, moving on to ESV Muspelheim, we have Enever versus Hyrlis. I've actually been quite unsure about how to pronounce that name. Would you say Hyrlis or Hyrlis?
I kept saying Hydrolisc at first. So,
Oh dear.
I don't know.
I'd say
Hyrlis is maybe.
Hyrlis if you're going.
Hyrlis too.
I kind of like the sound of Hyrlis. We will have to get him on Vent at some point or Skype, and actually just verify that with him.
Yeah.
But that's not who we're looking at in camera right now. In the bottom right position, on this beautiful tropical firestorm deserted wasteland, we have Fusion Slugs Enever. And in the top left-hand position, we have, throwing down his first pylon in a very conventional position, we have Hyrlis.
Yes. So we'll see. Probably another interesting PvP. Enever did tell me that their games seem to either go for 3 minutes or 3 hours. That's probably a bit of an exaggeration, but considering it's PvP, like, that doesn't surprise me. We'll see if we see a quick game this time, because the last game was a long game in the end, with some good warp prism play, and lots of macro. I'm glad they got the upgrades too, that really makes me happy. I mean, obviously they could do it better. I mean, they'll kid ourselves these guys at VSG, even.
Enever's getting double gas before Cybercore.
DT rush?
Quite possibly.
Maybe? Like,
but if you're going for DTs, I often find it's better if you're going DTs to get your second gas while your Cybercore is building. That allows you to get out your additional units a lot faster. It's possible that she's going to rush gas to get a sentry and the Twilight Council, but the mineral intake is actually going to be decreased very heavily by throwing 6 people onto gas immediately. And we see that actually
I'm not
from
sure,
this double gas, we can actually see that the probe count is significantly in the favour of Hyrlis right now.
Yeah, I mean, we're in danger again of trying to guess a bronze level build, because I'm trying to think of the efficient way, but in my head, 2 gas, early gas is what she's trying to get, so DTs are definitely an option. I think that's the only logical option in PvP. I don't think she's going to go Stargate play, because going Stargate for a bronze level player is kind of daunting.
Unless you go for skill raise.
So that's true. Maybe she'll proxy a Stargate somewhere and do a proxy Void Ray.
Well, there are many places which are very well protected by shrubberies, which would be quite ideal to do that. And you'd have to have a very particular scouting pattern to actually find them. But we see there's actually no probe out on the map for Enever right now, so that's not such a possibility. But
and she used a chrono on Warpgate.
Indeed.
Robo. Fast Colosso?
Possible. We do see the Robo for her opponent going down. We're going to be having possibly a 2-gate Robo expand or a 3-gate Robo from Hyrlis. His Warp Gate is almost finished. And given neither of these players are actually going for an aggressive timing push, the Warp Gate timing isn't going to be that significant here.
Yeah, it might just be a style choice too. She maybe just likes 2 gas, and she's just doing a standard build as far as she's concerned. So
indeed, but she does have a Twilight Council, so she could throw down perhaps an Observer, Proxy Pylon, try warp directly into the main. She could throw down her Dark Shrine pretty much immediately after this Twilight Council finishes as well. So perhaps that is her plan.
Maybe she's going to do a Warp Prism DT.
Oh, that would be nice. Dark Shrine, Dark Shrine, Dark Shrine. You have the guess. Dark Shrine, Dark Shrine, Dark Shrine. Go on, Dark Shrine. Enever, Enever. Stalker. We see the observer for Enever moving across the map, and the Stalker being repelled quite nicely by an expansion. Ooh.
So it's a 2-gate Robo's Twilight expand.
Of course, perfectly standard.
You didn't pick that, Matt. Yeah.
Dev Bronze level strategies. I like it. And we do see the observers
it's exciting. It's keeping us on our toes.
And a very nice snipe on the observer by Hyrlis with that wonderful stop command. And Enever quite unhappy about life right now, despite being 1 game ahead.
And Blink's on the way for Enever, so she might be trying to do a expand into 2-gate Blink. Oh, and here comes a Robo, and for both players. So
2-gate expand Robo Blink Colossus.
All in.
All we need is another 4 gateways, and then we do actually have a viable option for an all-in. We see Hyrlis is getting an observer into the main and seeing absolutely everything. Seeing the Chrono Boost on the Twilight, seeing the robotics base, seeing the potential for Colossus, seeing the pylons, but not actually seeing the number of gateways or this expansion, which actually could be quite telling at the moment, because right now Hyrlis doesn't know if there's an all-in coming until he moves this observer.
I return to serve.
And apparently the Immortal has returned to serve. We see Hyrlis is responding with his
Twilight down now for
Twilight. Slightly oversaturated with the minerals in his main, and slightly undersaturated at his natural. We could actually see him go for an expansion again here. Enever does not like the look of that observer and just tells it to leave.
Well, I'm glad she spotted it just by eyesight. Now she's getting her own observers. That's a good sign too. So there is some cool things these guys are picking up on, which is good. I think their overall awareness of the map and the game itself in terms of seeing clone units seems really good.
Indeed. We do see the 8
obviously the builds are just very wacky.
We do see the very standard 11-minute 8 Blink Stalker blink into the main about to happen, and actually it's possible that Enever could have her Colossus tech sniped before Extended Thermalance completes, should Hyrlis decide to be aggressive with the blink, which is going to finish in the next 15 seconds.
Yeah, I definitely think the 11.5-minute 8 Stalker blink attack is going to probably do a lot of damage. And even though I'm kind of joking, it actually probably will do some damage. Because there is nothing really here.
Oh my god, is that army moving out? Here they come, they're in the back. And if Hyrlis makes the right decision, he will target down this robotics bay immediately. But the opportunity is gone. So the best choice now would be to blink out and then just run. And Enever, she saw the observer, chose not to kill it, showing a little bit of mercy to her boyfriend, perhaps just saying, hey, get out, I don't like it when you just blink into my main. You have to at least buy me...
we have Void Rays.
You have to at least buy me dinner first, and the... So 2-gate Robo Twilight expand Colossus Void Ray into 3rd base and mothership?
It could be. I'd like to see like carriers.
I would like to see 3 Stargates go down from both players immediately, and for them to throw down a 3rd and 4th base, sacrifice all their armies, and then just go mass Void Ray. With 2 carriers.
It could happen.
We do see Enever's actually supply blocks right now.
Is bigger. it's now going to be a 13 Stalker blink into the main.
Indeed, but Enever is going to spot this Stalker force when she tries to take this third base.
The scouting nexus.
The scouting
Sees
not
all.
a live probe. ...
And this might be the blink.
What do you do when you've been scouted? You blink in anyway. And actually will snipe a Forge here. Very nice. And then blinks
And
away, loses
oh.
2 Stalkers, but actually 2 Stalkers for delaying upgrades, that is quite a cost-effective trade. We do see that Hyrlis does have a huge probe advantage right now. His third base is up and running, getting saturated, and yeah, we do see also a bit of an upgrade advantage for him as +2 weapons is about to finish. So it's going to be the +2 attack of Hyrlis just completed to the no upgrades whatsoever of Enever. We see
But the void
Enever
rate count is climbing?
It is indeed climbing. And we see, oh, I was hoping those were Stargates at the back of the main. Another 2 gateways and another
So was I,
robotics.
actually. I saw them there, I was like, oh, they Stargates, clicked on them, and I was disappointed.
Well, I would actually like to see Hyrlis...
But there is air weapons.
Oh. Do it. Do it. 2 Stargates. Enever, if you're listening to the stream right now, I will forgive you. Throw down 2 Stargates right now and make only Void Rays. You will win. I guarantee it. He says, watching the production tab with an eagle eye.
Well, I mean, there is an award for the most entertaining games.
That there is.
Using units like carriers and crazy things which you don't really see might just help win that.
We do see another Void Ray coming out, and we're currently up to 4 Void Rays, which is actually quite a scary addition to any standard Gateway Colossus composition. We do see the third base has been delayed because of the original snipe on the probe going to build the third. So Enever's forced to build it in a slightly more conventional position, but we do see that Hyrlis has got up a rather strong composition here of Zealots, Stalkers, Archons, and Sentries. Now, what do you think about Sentries in late game PvP? Oh yeah, and a couple of big gangly Colossi, of course. They go without mention. Now, I do feel this is going to be very telling,
obviously. Sentries are good, obviously, for most of the game. The key thing is to know how to use them late game. In general, force fields aren't useful. We saw that a different case, obviously, earlier today, because there was no Archons or Colossi in the opponent. But once there are Archons and Colossi, you don't want to use the force field, you want to use the Guardian Shields instead. And they still do a lot of good help to your units. So a couple of Sentries, I mean, you're going to build them early game anyway. You might as well keep them alive. You don't want too many, because you'd rather have the big damage units, but if you've got 2 or 3, that's fine.
Indeed. We do see a few idle probes just having a bit of a cigarette break in the main of Hyrlis. And looking at the observers from both of these players, we see that both players have neglected to get observer speed.
Yeah, it's not like I get very often either.
I actually find in late game, you can actually get observer speed, invest 100 into it, and you will oftentimes end up with a significant increase in robotics production for more attacking style units, because you can just patrol
the Stalker hits
observers.
It's on a mission again.
Indeed, they're on a mission, and the mission
but
takes them into the path of a Deathball army. But the retreat path happens to be into an expansion which is currently building. But nice cancel.
Forces a cancel. Yep, definitely. It was either attack it with your whole army, which is probably not a great idea, or cancel it.
Indeed.
she should try and take it another. She might well just be worth expanding twice. But again, we're getting to the point now where gateways are important. A third forge coming down for Enever now. Obviously, she's a bit worried her upgrades aren't very good because she's only at 1-1, I think. Yeah.
Compared to the 3-1 of her opponent. Now, these Void Rays could be quite telling. There's 5 of them, but there are just so many Archons. And unfortunately, Void Rays tend to bunch up. But here we go, the battle has begun. An amazing concave. Nice force fields from both players, denying a lot of the unit movement.
Wow.
But 4 Void Rays do actually stay alive.
The force fields actually really hurt Hyrlis then. And
Yeah,
he didn't use Archons or Colossi to move and kill them, which is really important as a Protoss. That's what you need to do. If they throw force fields down, just grab a Colossi and Archon, just move them. Just stop them attacking with the rest of the army, just move them into it.
Indeed.
Destroy them so your army can get back in there. And so much of his army was then pushed into a small funnel which couldn't fight the Colossi. The Colossi would just smash and everything.
We also see quite a high count of Immortals and Colossus for Enever here. So Hyrlis just needs to choose his engagements a little bit better, perhaps move down, snipe this 4th base again. Maybe even send it in, try kill a few probes at the 3rd and then just pull back. Because at this stage of the game you can afford to send 4 Zealots and 4 Stalkers and you will do a significant amount of damage to any base you attack. We see Hyrlis laughing at
what's the next step here?
The next step here would be Mothership. Because when you get to this kind of army composition, it is actually quite a bit of a stalemate, and whoever would be able to land a good Vortex would actually be quite likely to automatically win the game. Based on...
We're going to have another engagement here.
We are going to have another engagement.
Hyrlis is moving in.
Hyrlis is up to
3-2-2. Bunch it all up. He needs to split his army a bit more, and I think he's going to run away. Yeah, I'm not sure if he's going to find a better timing though.
This is actually a perfect timing because the +2/+2 of Enever has not finished yet. And an amazing concave, nice
double blink.
And so many Colossus just melting the army of her opponent. And Enever is actually just being passive.
Enever's just got a concave set up here. She's waiting. And she's now got her 2-2. So, and we're about to have the 25-minute Zealot charge finish for Enever.
Oh yeah.
So, and Fleet Beacon! Fleet Beacon is on the way.
Beacon, 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 good. Are we going to see carriers? Are we going to see an extra...
and a second Cyber Core.
Oh.
A second Cyber Core. Double upgrades of air.
We do have the +1 weapons. +1 armor is almost complete for the air attack and armor. We see ground armor and weapons underway. Ground shields is just... or actually shields in general is just completed. So... the upgrades are leveling out, but this is a very scary army. 3-2-2 moving into the 4th base. The Hero Zealot does not really stand a chance versus that. And we see Enever is actually attacking with the probes rather than trying to run. Very nice snipe.
She's not going to get past that army. But
And
she really wants to get...
moving into
Oh,
the
she's got a
3rd.
position near that ramp. She would have... She's now in big trouble because Hyrlis got the upper ground, and there's a big choke now that her arm's going to walk into.
A very nice
it's going to work
aggressive
out well
blink.
for Enever at all.
That was a nice aggressive
Yeah,
blink. We do see that the Void Ray count is dying. The concave... Oh! The Colossus for Hyrlis were attacking the Nexus. And that
That's
actually...
a big mistake. That might just let it...
Wow. It's now 5 naked Colossus versus a lot of Zealots and a lot of Colossus. And Enever should actually just try to kill this right now. If she does this, she will have a massive advantage. One Colossus is getting aggroed, and that's actually going to be a free Colossus if Hyrlis turns around.
Yeah, and I think this Enever's in deep trouble now, losing the 4th and the 3rd. She's on 2 bays now with really no economy.
And the move command.
And there was a move command there, but I think there might be
these Colossus, actually, there's too many. There are just too many Colossus, and the entire army dies.
Oh, there's a carrier. We have a carrier.
Carrier. And a
We missed that. And a mothership. Oh yes.
And a lot of immortals.
This is amazing. But unfortunately, she has no economy, so she's not going to come back from this attack.
Indeed. Now would be a very good time, looking at the gas count, to go into High Templar. And Hyrlis saying, carriers, oh my god, carrier. And, yeah.
Wait.
What?
GG.
What?